Hi, my name is Jim Brule, and I'd like to share a story with you from my personal life, a story of transformation. In fact, such a powerful transformation that even though it occurred when I was only 13 years old, its effects have lasted with me through the rest of my life. It guided a lot of what I do. At the time, we lived in upstate rural New York. My father, my mother, my younger brother, and younger sister. My father was a university professor, and he decided that he would take a sabbatical to the Philippines for what we thought would be a year and ended up being almost two. It was the first time I'd traveled outside of the country, and it was the first time really any of us had done that. It was a major, major change, but even more major than anybody might have expected. Now, you should know that at the time, I was a great fan of world explorers. I loved to read the history of all the men who tried to make their way across the oceans and especially around the world. Magellan was my favorite. Here was a guy who would have circumnavigated the globe, as we were taught, had it not been for these savages that had killed him midway. It was great tragedy to the way we were taught, and I felt it acutely. So imagine my surprise when we ended up living in Cebu in the Philippines, which is a large city across a small strait from a small island known as Mactan. Mactan, you might have guessed, is the place where Magellan was killed. He was killed by the chieftain Lapu-Lapu, who is a great hero in the Philippines. I mean, his face is on the centavo coin, the cent, just like our Lincoln is on ours. He's known for being the man who was able, at least for a while, to forestall the Spanish invasion and keep the Philippines independent. There's a great story about him, how he showed great hospitality in the beginning to Magellan, but it was only after repeated attempts and a final declaration that Magellan was going to come and collect taxes from everyone that he recognized this as an invading force and was able to beat them off. So here I was, 13 years old, suddenly confronted by the fact that there were two truths in the world. On the one hand, there was the fact that Magellan was a great explorer and tried to go around the world and didn't make it because he was killed along the way. True, it's fact. And on the other hand, there's Lapu-Lapu, another great hero, a man who was able to keep his country, at least for a while, from being invaded by foreigners. A great man. Both stories true. But the facts seem to be in contradiction to each other. How could one both be a hero and an invader? How could one be both a hero and a savage? It's very confusing to me. And as we got to know the Philippines more richly and more robustly, I came in contact with a tremendous number of multiple truths. And that's guided me ever since. It's helped me to know that as firmly as I believe something to be true, there may be a multiple truth. There may be a deeper truth. And I've also found that those truths are most accessible through stories. If we only tell the facts, Magellan was born in such and such a year and he died in such and such a year at such and such a place, we miss the truths that are behind them. We need narrative. We need conflict. We need resolution to be able to understand that there's more than one truth in the world and an even deeper truth beneath it all. So thank you for listening to my story, and I welcome your comments and the opportunity to discuss it with you. Bye-bye.